guys, we are here at Fun Spot America, and it's time to ride the SkySled.
No, not for me.
Well, so here's what happened. It debuted about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I really want to do it. Who's coming with me?
And everyone was like, hell no.
Oh man, think of all the cowards I work with here at In the Loop. So anyway, it came down to who's gonna lose in fantasy football. The two of them played 1 week.
Yep.
And let's find out.
Not even close.
To be fair, so it went down, when I got on a plane at 1 o'clock, I was like crushing you. I was projected to crush you by like 30 points. I land 2 hours later and I'm so far in the hole.
Yeah. And that was a Jameis getting benched.
I know. And to make it matters worse, we were supposed to do this last weekend, so I've been thinking about this for like 2 weeks now. So I just want to get this over with. Kenny was supposed to be here. He failed us.
Typical Kenny at Kings Island again.
I know. Mandatory meeting.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Let me look at my Kenny excuse book. Up, that one.
Yep. Alright, no excuses for me. So.
No, I mean, you're here. Inloop's already paid for this, so it is going down.
We gotta do this.
And we're gonna do it SkySled.
SkySled style.
And we saw this in IAPA last year. About a year later, we're gonna actually get to do it. And by we, I mean those two. I'm gonna drink.
How you feeling, buddy?
It's not looking good. I don't even know what these things are. Like, what? You got all the Skycoaster harnesses over here, and you got this like chair.
I've never seen.
All right, so we're in like, what is this?
I don't know. Let me just model this for you.
It's like he's trekking Everest or something.
Yeah, I'm like wearing a hiking backpack here.
When we asked to do the SkySled, they were like, what? Like,
well, why do you want to do that? Nobody wants to do that.
They said no one does it, so...
I don't even know if they know how to do it.
This might be our last video ever, so... Let's try it.
And looks like they survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that was the thing.
it happened. So let's talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
Since everyone wants to know our review about how that was.
How great it was. Well, first off, we started where like they're like, put this backpack on. Like it was like 50 pounds.
And then the one guy goes, I'm gonna let you do this because I've never done one of these before.
And then when we got on the thing, well, first off, when you get over on it, if you ever rode a Skycoaster, the biggest like freak out moment isn't so much the drop on it, it's when you're on the thing and they're like, kick your feet back and like trust fall down. There's none of this, except we like sat down and the guy goes, oh, I think this is supposed to be connected over here.
I think these should be together. Like, well, if you think that, we think that.
We had proof.
Let's go for it.
Prove it. But yeah, I mean, then you go up and
you can see the slack in the cable, but at the end of the day, it really didn't do anything.
no.
And when you go up the normal way, you have no idea when the end is coming. You just see the ground getting further and further away.
And here, you can't
my
see the
neck
ground.
is so stuck up in this, like,
Yeah, that was another thing. The seat was really comfortable, except for the neck. Like our neck was like forward like this the whole time, so it wasn't like straight back. So that was kind of uncomfortable.
so you're staring at the sky,
Yeah.
and so basically that bar all the way up there is all you can see.
Yeah.
So it just gets closer and closer, and then you become level with, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm at
this
the
is
top.
it. And you can barely hear them. But I would say like when you're on the Skycoaster, the drop's freaky because you're like this, and then you nosedive with the slack. Here you just kind of flop down. It's no different than when you're swinging up and you catch that little slack and you kind of catch down. I was freaking out, but there was nothing to it.
The only momentary panic I had was I pulled the ripcord, which is weird because you can see it. It's literally next to you.
It's you have handlebars you can hold on to.
But
So it's like you're doing like the horn noise
Yeah.
when you pat the truck?
it's right
3,
there.
2, 5.
So it's right there. But all the time when we were down here, they kept yelling at us to not grab anything besides the yellow handles. So you have to take your hand off of the yellow handle to pull the ripcord. And then so I was trying to figure out where to put my hand back. And so I had like a momentary panic of
What do
like,
I do with my hands?
trying to find the yellow handle again.
Yeah.
But that was the only real like.
And one thing we noticed, you probably saw in the video, it takes forever to get them set up on this, and maybe it's because it's new and they're not super used to it. But like, it works for a place like this where it's one and done. But like a Kings Island or a Cedar Point where they're pumping people through every 5 minutes on this, and it's a capacity thing. I don't see any parks like that getting this.
And they also the box is too small. So
Yeah.
like they have to like squeeze by you.
So normally,
Like,
Excuse
me?
Oh, hello. Normally what you do is when you come up, the person coming off is there with the people who are going next,
Yeah.
and they load at the same time. Here they told us since these take up so much room, they can't do that. So that's a couple extra minutes itself. So, I mean, it is what it is. If you haven't done a Skycoaster before, I guess it's something, or if you have, it's something different. But
I was gonna say, like, is there any circumstance you would recommend the SkySled for people?
if they've done Skycoasters before, maybe.
You don't like free falling?
I mean, so this is the less scary model. So if you want to do the less scary one, I guess.
Yeah.
But I will say all of the cables and everything hooking it up is a little intimidating. So if you've never done
Because
one
it's
before,
all in front of your face versus
Yeah.
behind you.
I guess you wouldn't want to see all that if you were, I don't know. It's the other way is much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see this going many places. Sorry, Ride Entertainment. Just keep giving us moose on the looses. That's all we want.
That's true. You know, we need more moose on the
More
loose.
moose on the loose, less sky sleds. But good.
And there they go. Hitchhiking backpacks and everything. Walking down, no, they stopped. Up, they're going backwards. There's a lot of stuff on that. Up, there's a bearded man. Up, and they're actually not going this time. All right, let's look at Hyde's face as he comes down to do this. Andrew seems like he's better. Hyde seems like he's nervous. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's clutching his vest.
Yep, this is all my fault. You and your terrible fantasy football team, Hyde.
This is already too 5 for me.
And that's just the forklifty thing. Drew has no problem with this. Who, anybody tell Drew to dress like a road cone tonight?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
He's easy to spot on the camera though.
Yeah, he's impossible to lose. Like, if we were doing some sort of weird human game of Where's Waldo, we would not lose Drew at all. I'm really not quite sure how this process works. They're just looking at their feet right now. Nope, yeah.
One yes, one no.
Wish Hyde was on this side, that would have made more sense. But I guess we are B camera over here. Close-up shot of the faces. It does take kind of a while to get into this thing as well. And I guess they don't use it very often either. Most people go Superman style. Oh, there's the thing.
The sled?
No, the big cable.
Oh, the cable.
All right. Not really sure what's going on here. We'll get some insights in a bit.
Didn't you do this? Don't you know what's going on?
I've never done the SkySled version, and it seems like there's a lot more involved this way. At some point, they're gonna have to sit down, and I think that might be what we're getting ready for now. I will say the throughput on this version is definitely not as good. I have no idea what they just said either.
I heard Drew say yeah.
I think that's what they both said. They were probably like, yeah, we're having so much fun here at Fun Spot America Kissimmee. And their horrible parking situation. If you're ever going to come here, please don't come on a Friday or Saturday night. The parking situation is just a nightmare. Like, there's no lines for the rides like normal. Maybe a little line for go-karts, but you can walk on Mind Blower. But the parking is just a nightmare. And now they've got two people suiting them up. We seem to not be moving very fast. Oh, all right, no. Yeah, lots of suiting up, and it's kind of funny from this angle. You don't know if he's like down Drew's pants or what's going on.
I don't know if that would help the situation that it takes longer to be like, okay, I'm safer.
I don't think so.
Like, terrified of. There's so much more to go on.
I think that, yeah. And they're like, oh, we never do this version. That would make it even worse to be Hyde. That's just Hyde talking about how much he loves his job here in the Loop. He just doesn't care for his fantasy football team. In case you were curious, not one of the leaders to go to North Dakota, though. His team's not that bad. It's a Little Spoon, who bailed on us tonight, is in dead last place. Currently only won one game. Now, Clay, you're in the league. Who do you think is the worst team? Who do you think is going to North Dakota after they lose the Sacco Bowl?
You or Kenny?
Me or Kenny?
The favorites right now. Mm-hmm. Or Clint.
I think Clint could lose too. His team's so dependent on the and there they go. His team is so dependent on the Minnesota Vikings. Man, that looks like a bumpy forklift ride. Oh no, like the Vikings are on a bye this week, and I think he's predicted to lose by like, originally in the week it was 60, and now I don't know what it is.
Let's hope it's not worse, because that's not going to help.
Yeah. I was gonna say, at this point it seems kind of comfy on the, you're kind of like on an easy chair thing. They continue to fumble around with some stuff. Yeah. And it looks like I need to clear video footage off this camera. Give me 1 minute. And we're back. And deleted one video that cleared the space I needed. We still have not moved. So if you're curious how much time that took, about 20 seconds or so. And I would feel like this has to make it worse for Hyde. As somebody who's terrified to do this, the whole suit-up process taking an hour and a half here can't be best for the scared gentleman on the left. I wonder if they're gonna hold hands. You guys think they're gonna hold hands?
I hope they hold hands.
I think so. I know in the normal version, like if you go Superman, you have to lock arms with people. And I don't know if they're gonna have to do that here.
It looks like they're almost ready.
They're almost. You know what? Now that I think about it, it kind of looks like Drew works for Fun Spot with the color of shirt. All right, we're getting closer. There's more cables on cables. There are a million cables that goes into the SkySled. I think we are getting close to go time, everybody. Maybe. Up, then there's more cables they have to chest. Oh, and here we go. Anyway, that is what they sit in. And they can wave goodbye. That is they're already swinging a little bit. And they're about to go, we're the one in Kissimmee. This is the tallest one in the entire world. So they are going to go 300 feet into the air, all the way up there in the new SkySled. Now the one Hyde did was the one at Cedar Point back when it was at Challenge Park. So that's considerably smaller. That's like 150 or 200, somewhere in there. And looks like they're not going to hold hands. They look like they have a little handle, and there they go. Off on the magical journey adventure.
Oh, here we go!
It gets harder and harder the farther they get away from me to get any sort of contrast. As you can see where they are in their journey, they are nowhere close to being towards the top. From this angle, you really only see feet. And yeah, they're still a ways up. I mean, they're a good 75 to 100 feet from the top area. So we're just gonna go to that wide angle shot now and show you the scope of this thing. All right, they're almost there. And they're spinning. Now that looked like it would not have been very fun, I would say.
No, not
like once you get to this part where it's just a fun swing, pretty enjoyable. Free fall of doom part, not so great. I personally want to thank Christian McCaffrey and the rest of my fantasy football team. Christian, if you're watching, thank you. Le'Veon, if you're watching, please show up next week. And there we go. They're clapping. I wonder if Hyde was crapping. We'll find out in a bit.